Heroes need tragedy in order to not become villains. What do you think, Kyle?
Huh. So, an argument can be made that I think the best heroes have tragedy. There are examples of heroes that don't necessarily have tragedy in their lives that become heroes. Booster Gold pops to mind.
You're right. Static Shock
Yep.
comes to my
Yeah.
mind. Like his tragedy isn't really like like a mom or a dad or like something like that dies. Uncle Ben, like both
I
parents. Like, it's
I do
usually like
think
your family needs to die or like you cannot become a hero.
I do think the best heroes do have tragic backstories because it gives them more depth of character, I think, right off the bat.
I guess a
Everyone
better way to frame that is like, do you think that like Spider-Man and like characters like that if they didn't have the Uncle Ben moment and they got power, that they would use that power irresponsibly, that they would use that power, you know what I mean, for their
not
own
for good, for
right.
villainy.
hmm
Hmm.
Like
That's an interesting frame. Like again, we've seen like other people's takes and examples of this where like if Batman didn't have the tragedies that he had, he necessarily wouldn't be the best of the
people,
best person. Yeah,
right? Like 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 maybe like a Bruce that his parents were alive his whole life. Maybe he's like a CEO, like blood,
your
like
average billionaire
yeah,
doesn't
just
care
like that
about people.
cutthroat CEO doesn't care about people, like is experimenting on people in Arkham just like everyone else is, like in the Gotham world. Um,
Yeah.
what do you
It's
think? Let us know in the comments. Do heroes need tragedy in order to not turn into villains? Or is it more of like a situation like you know, like Captain America? What was the
hmm.
tragedy in his life that like led him to be Cap?
I guess he didn't really have a tragedy. It was more that like he was just bullied growing up.
His
He,
tragedy came as Captain America, right? Where he like
losing
laid down his
Bucky,
life, losing Bucky, being frozen, like all
losing
that
pay,
came
like
as
yeah,
Captain America.
losing his
So
life
like
essentially. That's interesting. He was like, see, that's an interesting point because he was a hero before any real true tragedy struck him.
struck him, right?
He just kind of naturally was a good person. Which actually that brings me to another point. I want to ask you, what's a better story for a hero? One that like Captain America where they're just like inherently a good person or one where they're kind of like have to be shaped into being a good person?
I love this question, and I'm going to tell you why. It brings up, at least in my mind, right away, Superman.
Mhm.
The whole debate of people being really mad that his parents like sent him to like create a harem and like take over the world, and like that's not Superman, and like that ruins Superman. I I love that specifically because what is that's the perfect question, because is it more heroic to just wake up like Captain America? You just are good.
Wake up, do
Good.
good, make good
Wake up good,
decisions,
go to
know
sleep
what's
good,
morally
like
right.
exactly. Like you're just good, and like what you do works out as the good thing to do because you're just good. Or is it more heroism that you have to choose heroism? Like that you were sent to the planet to take over, to harm people, and you choose the opposite instead. You choose compassion, you choose kindness. Is that not more heroic?
It's
Like, is that
definitely
not
the
more Superman? Like in this frame of Superman, right?
mhm.
Like, is it not more Superman to not just be like intrinsically good, but like make the choice every day to like, you know?
Preach. I mm. I
But
really
in the
do.
sense of other characters, I feel like it takes a whole different spin.
Yeah. So what's interesting is like one of the ones that I'm weirdly enough popped into my mind is like Rocket Raccoon. Like Rocket
Okay,
Raccoon is not an inherently good character by any means,
he's not a
but
good being,
he got a good being. Yeah, he wasn't built for that. Like,
but he's a
but he
hero.
still is a hero because he actively chooses it. And to me, that's like more impressive than someone like Cap or your average Superman, where they
Or
just
like
wake
Groot,
up and they
for
know, or
example, where
Groot.
like he's
Yeah,
just good. You know what I mean? Like he's just a good being. Like he feels
they both have their compelling. So What's interesting is it makes me think of even like anime characters like Sasuke Uchiha. If anyone knows, you know. But like he actively has to choose to be
Choose.
good. Like characters that have to choose to be good, they're much more compelling. They end up being the more
Their moral compass
popular.
is stronger as
Yeah,
well. Like,
they end up being the more popular characters in media
mhm.
because people relate and can relate and identify with them more because everyone has gone through a struggle. Everyone has had the dark thought that they had to push aside.
Like Batman and Superman, right? Everyone leans towards Batman because like he's relatable to us. Like
Not just because he's a human, but because he's more realistic
he has
about
to choose to do good every day.
yeah.
Whereas like the normal version of Superman is like that like Boy Scout who just is good and like what he does just turns out good and he can just catch planes and like everything is good. I like this version in James Gunn's where like it feels like it's like that, but it's by choice.
Hmm.
Like that like at least now it is. Like now that he's discovered that he was sent here like to do
Yeah.
harm.
Well, even in that speech where he's like, I'm just like the rest of you. I wake up and put one foot in front of the other, and despite
Mhm.
not knowing what to do, I do it anyway. Like
It's
that's
human.
that's
I'm
it's
human.
very they humanized him in a way that I don't know if Superman has been before.
Hmm. Yeah,
You know? It's
I'm
really interesting.
100%
Let
in
us know what
agreement.
you guys think in the comments below. Please make sure to give us a like, share, and subscribe at Hosts4Hire podcast on all social medias. We would greatly appreciate it. This does make me think like people talk also about like how Superman being like going evil, the injustice world. I've been hearing little rumors because Zack Snyder has been posting those pictures about like an injustice world. That'd be really that like, we'll see.
Uh,
Just to shut him up, if anything. But people talk about how Superman is like this would make like the most evil villain. But who do you think would make which villain do you think would make the best hero?
ooh. Because I was gonna say, in this topic, I was gonna bring up the opposite question.
Ah,
I was gonna ask you, uh, which heroes not embedded in tragedy would like make do you think would become like the worst villains? But let's do both. All right.
mm-hmm.
Uh, s- s- so which
Villain
villain do I
do you
think
think
would make
would
the
be?
best hero?
Mhm.
Hmm. We've already seen some examples, right? Like Doc Ock,
Mhm.
like make an extreme, like a better, arguably better version of Spider-Man than Peter was.
Yeah.
Or like Doctor Doom when he becomes Iron Man, like infamous Iron Man.
Yeah.
Um,
So I guess the real question is
I think
like,
a real obvious one, and especially that goes into this theme, is Lex Luthor, right? Like if he was
mhm.
hero, like if he was a hero, he could do so much good. Like he could do so much good with like
I
his
feel like
brain
people
capacity and his
I feel like
well
people with a high capacity for evil have an even higher capacity for
capacity for
good.
good. Exactly.
Whereas people with a high capacity for good don't necessarily have a higher capacity for evil. Like they just have more power to do it because generally in comics specifically they make the people with the most power the good ones. And the
It's true.
villains are kind of all the underdogs generally. Like
It's true.
Spider-Man fights
However,
six villains at once.
I'll
Like
bring you a counterpoint in that like Dark Knights of Metal, where we see a hero like Batman go bad, and like
yeah.
the like the problems that like he
the
can
the
cause.
multiversal problems that a team
You know
of them
what
would
is
cause.
one that I'm gonna choose actually from DC? If they were to be bad, they would be a problem. Let us know yours in the comments. Let
Please.
let let us know yours. Martian Manhunt.
Oh, that's a
If he were
really
to go
good
bad,
choice.
problem. Superman has stated that out of everybody that he's fought, like in his life, that he would want to fight John Jones the least.
Yeah, it's hard to hit something that can go incorporeal. It's hard to
And
stop something
like
that can control your mind. It's hard to
you're
like, he's got
that's the
one
scary bit.
weakness.
That's the
He's got
scary
one
bit.
weakness, and that's
Yeah,
fire.
like
Like that's it.
the in your mind part is the scary bit because not only does John have like the strength to stand toe to toe with Superman at times, but
Mhm.
like you said, he has the incorporability, and then like the like he can fuck up your mind as well, like as well as your face. Like,
and it's exactly
and he
his
can
strength.
shapeshift into like monstrous things. Like,
His strength is comparable of that to Superman's. Like, there's a lot.
a
Like,
problem.
that's a good one.
A
I like that
problem.
one. You went DC. I'm gonna go with Marvel. I'm gonna say Thor.
Ooh.
I think Thor would be an issue as a full-on villain. I don't
Like
know.
if he like went full on Loki's side.
Yeah,
You know,
and like had the might of Asgard behind him, and there'd be a lot that you'd have to contend with an evil god of thunder. That's for sure.
we kind of saw an example of it in Marvel Zombies just recently, and it
That's
took
true.
like a Infinity Stone soaked Hulk.
To
You
do
know what I
anything
mean? To
about
like
it.
take him down. So he would be a problem.
Let us know again what your guys' are. Answer all these questions in the comments below, please.
Yes.
Please.
What was the other question?
Um.
This is the problem
Yeah. This is
with the smoke being added in post is
It's-
we're forgetful.
very. The other, I think it was just like the flip of that, like which
Villains would make the best
villains
heroes.
would make heroes. Yeah,
Right,
which we
okay,
said
okay,
Doctor Doom.
all right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let us know in the comments what we missed.
You guys, as always, if you enjoy this content, please leave us a like, leave us a share. Dare I say, leave us a subscribe. We're trying to hit that 10K. Boy, do we want to hit that 10K. Help us out. We'll be forever indebted to you.
Yes, we appreciate you guys, and we will catch you on the next episode.